ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. In this auspicious month of Purushottam, today we will hear about Pandharpur Dham. Just like Jagannath Puri is known as Prasad Brahma, because the Lord of Prasadam is served whole day to Jagannath, and that Prasadam is distributed to all the devotees as a mercy or blessings of Lord Jagannath. So that is called as Prasad Brahma. And in Tirupati, it is called Kanchan Brahma. As you know, Krishna took a loan from Kubera for his marriage, and the devotees are repaying that. So all the time there is a talk about money, Lakshmi, being offered at the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is how Tirupati blesses his devotees. So that is why it is called Kanchan Brahma. So there is a talk all the time about offering service to the Lord in the form of Lakshmi or money. So Pandharpur is called as Nada Brahma. Nada Brahma, Nad means sound. And it is not an ordinary sound. It is a sound of the holy name. So in Pandharpur, 24 hours there is Sankirtan going on somewhere or the other. And whoever goes there, they're all always chanting the name of Vithala, Hare Krishna mantra, or Ram Krishna Hari. Like this, they are always glorifying the Lord in Pandharpur. So that is called Nad Brahma. And Krishna stays in that place because always there is glorification going on. As Krishna has explained to Narada, Naham vasami vaikunthe yoginam hrudaye nacha yatra gayanti mad bhakto tatra tisthami Narada. I do not stay in the hearts of the yogis. I do not stay even in Vaikuntha. But I am always present, Narada, wherever there is chanting of my name is going on. So therefore, Pandharpur is a place, Lord always there, because always the chanting of the name going on. So whenever we have to see the Dham, we have to see through the eyes of a pure devotee. So whenever the name of Lord Vithala comes, always related to it is the name of his pure devotee Tukaram Maharaj, who is very famous as a saint. And he has written many beautiful abhangas glorifying Pandharpur Dham and Vithala. So he says that Pandaricha Mahima Deta Anika Upama. This Pandharpur Dham is as such that you cannot compare this Dham to any other Dham, because there is nothing like Pandharpur. It is the supreme abode of the Lord, and you cannot compare with any other abodes of the Lord. Why is that? Aisa thava nahi kothe, deva ubha ubhi bhete. So there is no place in the whole creation that you go there and the Lord is waiting for you. So Pandharpur is a place Lord is waiting. Vithala, with Krishna, is waiting for his devotee to come. He is hankering for devotees to come and see him. And this Dham is famous because Vithala, standing on a brick, the hand on his vest, he is in a waiting position. So he is waiting for his devotee. Aheti sakala tirthe kale deti phala. All other dhams, they will give their fruits of visiting that dham after many times, many years or many lifetimes. And also you have to be pious, or you have to be very religious to get the mercy of that dham. But Pandharpur is even if any sinful person comes, immediately he don't have to wait for even 1 second. Immediately, 1 second, 1 hour, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, one lifetime. No, immediately Vithala gives his mercy, gives his blessing to whoever uh, has come to see him. And this is the Dham. So all other tirthas, they give their fruits or their reaction after a long time. And therefore, Tukaram says, Tukamane Peta Bhumivari He Vaikunta. So that is the reason this Pandharpur is considered as Vaikunta on this earth. It's called Bhu Vaikunta. And according to Skanda Purana, this place, the Pandharpur, is, even though with our material eyes, we see it as a part of this material world, as a part of uh, Solapur district of Maharashtra state. But it is not we cannot calculate this dham in the geographical boundary. It is about 6 inches from the ground, the spiritual world. And therefore, even though it looks like it is in the material world, but it is Bhu Vaikunta, it is spiritual. So, in this way, the glories of this Dham is explained in the scriptures, mostly Skanda Purana and also Padma Purana. So, one time, Lord Krishna, when he was in Dwarka, after he had childhood pastimes in Vrindavan, then he went to Mathura, and from there he came to Dwarka. And he was a king. And that time he was married. He had a wife, Rukmini. And one time, Krishna, when Rukmini was not there in that palace with him, Radharani came to see Vrindavan, see Krishna. Because Krishna was, even though he was in Dwarka, he was always remembering his childhood, always remembering his younghood, how he used to pass his time with his parents, and especially Gopas and Gopis. So sometimes he will say Gopi, Gopi in the middle of the night, he will remember them. So he was so much absorbed in Vrindavan consciousness, even though he was staying in Dwarka. So all the queens and people of Dwarka were wondering, why Krishna loves Vrindavan so much. So in this way, they knew that Krishna's heart is in Vrindavan. So this that time Radharani came, and Krishna completely lost his composure. He melted, his heart melted when he saw Radharani, and his body started shivering with love for Radha. And as Radharani came, he held her hand and made her sit next to him, and he was talking very lovingly, and at that time Rukmini came, and she got really upset. It is natural if some wife sees her husband sitting with some other girl, and naturally she will get upset. So Rukmini also, she got upset. So Rukmini was not an ordinary girl. She was also a queen. She is a daughter of King Bhishmak, and she belongs to Vidarbha. Therefore, her name is also Vaidarbhi. So Vidarbha is a place now is in Maharashtra, part of Maharashtra, and there is a place called Kaundinyapur. So that is the place where Rukmini is from. So as you know, Rukmini, when she was young, all these sages, many sages, they used to visit her palace, and they will sing the glories of Krishna. And especially Narad Muni, when he comes, he used to sing glories of Krishna. So this Rukmini became so much attracted just by hearing. And so this is the nature of Krishna Katha, Hari Katha. And that is the reason we should hear more and more. Because when we hear more about Krishna, we become attracted to him. So this Rukmini, because she was hearing every day from many sages, especially Narad Muni, about Krishna, she became so attracted, and that attraction turned into attachment. So when she grew and she was of a marriageable age, her father, in consultation with her brother Rukmi, Rukmi wanted her to marry Shishupal. Bhishmak, her father, don't wanted, but he could not say no because Rukmi was very insisting. He was very stubborn that his sister Rukmini should marry Shishupal. So even Rukmini didn't like to marry Shishupal, and she thought what to do now. The marriage is coming so close, and it is all the invitations are being sent, and all the people are already started coming. So what can be done? So when she was thinking, and she said, she called one Brahman and she wrote a letter to Krishna. Said, I'm very in difficult, very difficult situation. Please come and free me. I am about to get married with Shishupal, which I don't want to, and I want to marry you. I'm attracted to you, and I love you. So I would like to marry you. Please come and kidnap me. So she sent this letter with a Brahmana, and when Krishna received this letter from the Brahmana, Krishna immediately he started from Dwarka. Just within one night, he just came to uh, Kaundinipur, Rukmini's place. And Rukmini was still thinking, why Krishna is not coming? It is almost a time for I have to go for a wedding. And before we going for wedding, she was supposed to go to a family deity, Durga, in the village. So she was going there, and she got some indication that Krishna has come. So Krishna was waiting for a particular moment that Rukmini can be kidnapped. So when Krishna was standing, and Rukmini came with all her girlfriends, mates, and in a big procession. And when Krishna saw uh, Rukmini was in the front, and immediately Krishna brought his chariot, and he held the hand of Rukmini and pulled her on the chariot, and immediately they fled from there. And of course, after Rukmini started following, but ultimately Rukmini came to Dwarka, and they had a big marriage ceremony. And in that marriage ceremony, Krishna accepted Rukmini in front of all the uh, priests and brahmanas and Vaishnavas and their parents. So in this way, Rukmini was accepted by Krishna as a wife. Now she was such a dear wife. So she will fan Krishna, she will massage Krishna's feet. She loved Krishna. When she saw Radharani sitting next to Krishna, she became very upset. She got angry. So what a angry girl can do when she is angry with upset with her husband, what she is going to do. So in Vedic culture, there is no way for her to go other than the parents' house. So Rukmini decided to go to her parents' house back to Kaundinapur. And as she was going, on a way, she came to a beautiful place called Tindirvan. So it's Tindira means uh, it's a kind of a fruit. So whole beautiful forest of Tindira. So then she was when she came there, she became so attracted, and her anger was also gone down. When somebody gets angry, but when you start thinking, your anger goes down after some day. And so her anger also was pacified, and she was thinking, whatever it is, Krishna is Krishna, and I still love him. And her mood changed, and she just sat there, and she started performing austerity, remembering Krishna. So this is called Tindiravan. So this name Tindira is also coming from, there was one demon named Dindirava. So this Dindirava demon was very cruel, and he used to torture everybody. He will create difficulties in performing Brahmana's yagyas, and he'll steal everybody's property, their girls and daughters, wives. So he was creating such a big disturbance, and everybody was very much disturbed. So they went to Indra, please just take care of this Dindirav. He's giving too much trouble, it's creating difficulty in all our activities. It has become unbearable to even stay. So our life has become so difficult just because of this demon. So please do something. So Indra said, let us go to Vishnu because he is such a powerful demon. So they all went to Vishnu, and when they went to Vishnu, they appealed to Vishnu that, please, my Lord, since the Indirava demon is creating so much disturbance and difficulties for all people, and therefore we need to kill him. He's such a demon. And Vishnu said, yes, I definitely would like to help you, and I'll definitely fulfill your prayers. But now you go to your places, and eventually I will appear as Mallikarjun, and I will fulfill the desire of all of you by killing the demon, the Dindirava. So this, after some time, there was a king that Sri Chandra, his name was Sri Chandra, and he was very pious and very truthful, very helpful to his citizens, very loving. So Krishna appeared in the wife of his womb, in the womb of Sri Chandra's wife, and his name was Mallikarjun. So Sri Chandra, he desired, he was performing austerities, and Shiva appeared to him, and Shiva said, I am so pleased for your austerities, what you want? And he said, I want a son either like you or Vishnu. And then Shiva blessed him that you will have a son like Vishnu. So therefore Mallikarjun was born. So when he became young, he was going to forest, he was wandering in the forest, and he came across this Dindirava demon. So the demon, by seeing, he didn't realize this Mallikarjun, he saw as a young boy, and he attacked him. And the war, the fight between both of them, Mallikarjun, the incarnation of Krishna, and Dindirava, went on for a long time. And as they were fighting, Krishna saw that he is a very tough demon. So he took his club, he's like a iron club, and he banged it on his head, and his head, split in two, and his head broke, and he fell down on the ground, and he died. So while he was dying, he realized that the person with whom I am having a fight is not an ordinary person. He must be Vishnu, and therefore, just when he was dying, when he was falling down on the ground, he chanted loudly, Hari, Hari, and immediately Krishna, he saw that this demon is chanting his name. So when you chant the name of Krishna, Krishna immediately, no matter how you are chanting, immediately he becomes very attracted. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhava yati nastatra samshaya. There is no doubt, nastyatra samshaya. You shouldn't have any doubt. Whoever chants my name at the time of death, he will surely come to me. So that is Krishna's promise. And therefore, the purpose of human life, the at the time of our death, we should be able to hear Ante Narayana Smriti. We should be able to hear the name of Krishna. And therefore, because somehow or other he took the name of Hari Krishna, so Krishna appeared to him and he said, even though I have killed you, but because you have taken my name, I am pleased with you. Please, if you have any desire, you can ask. And then he said, because you killed me here, so people should know this, that you have killed the Dindirava. So please name this forest as Dindiravan. So therefore, the name of that place came as Dindiravan. And it is also called Lohadanda Kshetra, or Lohadanda Tirtha. So why? Because Krishna killed him with iron club. So therefore, it's called Lohadanda Kshetra. There is another story for how it came as Lohadanda. It is related to Indra. So one time, Indra, he cheated Ahilya, Gautam Rishi's wife. And when Gautam Rishi came to know that he cursed Indra, he cursed Ahilya to become a stone. So she became a stone, but she was delivered by Lord Ram's lotus, touching lotus feet to her. She was delivered. But Indra, Gautam Rishi was also cursed Indra, that you will have thousands of holes in your body, and therefore Indra was suffering. So Indra don't know what to do. So he went to Vishnu, and Vishnu said, I will give you this iron club. You take this iron club and go all over world, all over the universe, and where this iron club, don't drown, that is the holy place where you can take a bath. So Indra came to this Dindirvan, and there is a river Chandrabhaga, and he put that uh, iron club there. It didn't drown; it was floating. So, as promised by Vishnu, he took a bath there. That is also why it is also called Loha Danda, because it was Vishnu's danda. In both the cases, it is Vishnu's club. So it is called Loha Danda Kshetra. And this Chandrabhaga river also appeared before when Shivji he killed Tripura Sura. Shivji was sweating with sweat, and the sweat came as a river, and then it started flooding, and that flood came to Pandharpur, and therefore that the people of that region, they approached Lord Bhairava, Shivji, that please protect us. So they approached Lord Vishnu, all the people at Bhairava, and Vishnu said, okay, and he pushed all the river, and it became like a crescent moon, Chandra, half moon. So that is why it is called Chandra Bhaga. It's like a crescent moon. And then she said, I will only protect you. So you don't make any sound here. So therefore, Chandrabhaga is very quiet. No matter how much water gets there, it never makes any sound. So that is why the name of that river is also Chandrabhaga. So in that way, like this, the Rukmini was performing austerity there. So in that time, Krishna, Radharani, she just came to visit. She's not a Dwarkavasi. She's not a city girl. She's a village girl. She didn't like too much to stay in Dwarka. She just returned. So Krishna again became very alone, and he started missing. He started feelings for Rukmini again. So Krishna decided, where is Rukmini is gone. So he know that any upset girl, angry girl will go to her parents' house. So, there is no other way. So Krishna he took his chariot and he went to Vrindavan actually. because just Radharani has come. He took gopas there, from there, and with the cows, lots of cows, a herd of cows, he came in search of Rukmini, and finally he came to Dindirvan. And there she saw Rukmini. She appeased her. He appeased her, and she told, "Please come." And then they all went to a place called Gopalpura, which is about 3 kilometers from the temple. And that Gopalpura, there is a beautiful hill. That hill is called Govardhan Hill. And there is a river next to it. And that river is also considered as a Yamuna of Vrindavan. Because wherever Krishna goes, he likes to take his Vrindavan. So when he came, that Gopalpura, so on the hill, there is a beautiful deity of Gopal with all the gopas and cows around, surrounding. So they had a big festival there, and everybody had their own lunch boxes. They opened it, and that is called as a kala. That means something like everybody brings their own food in their tiffin, and they come together, they mix it, and they eat. So Krishna, he is always happy to see his devotees eating prasadam, you know. And therefore he also likes to enjoy eating prasadam with all his devotees. So they opened their lunch boxes and everything, whatever food they had, and they had a big festival. So for that reason, on Janmashtami, there is a big festival in remembering this pastime or Katha, and many people come. And also many people go in groups, and whenever they go in their groups, they have prasadam there. So therefore, this Gopalpura is a prasadam place and a festival place. So thousands of devotees are always there, and it's a beautiful place. They go there and do Katha, Kirtan. They talk about Krishna's pastimes, and they have prasadam there. This is a prasadam place. So right next to it, there is a place called Vishnupad. So Vishnupad there is a footprints of Vishnu and it's calf, Gopal, because Krishna carried his cows and calves. So it's a footprint of calf and Vishnu. And just in the river, there is a temple of Narad Muni, because Narad Muni like to stay wherever there is Krishna. So Narad Muni's temple is also there. So Narada is sitting there meditating on the pastime of Krishna, because Krishna is always present. And because the holy name, Narada also stays wherever there is holy name, and Katha goes on. And that is the reason Narad Muni also stays there. So there is a temple of Narad Muni near Gopalpura. So Krishna came to Gopalpura, he had the festival. And then he remembered that he had promised Muchukunda that he will fulfill his desire. So this Muchukunda is living in Pandharpur now, Dindirvan at that time, and he decided to go and see him. So this Pundarik was a devotee of Lord Krishna. In his previous life, he was Muchukunda. So Muchukunda, as you know, in the Bhagavatam, there is a Katha that when Krishna, this Jarasandha used to attack Krishna when he came to Dwarka, and many times Krishna, demolished his army, but he will never kill Jarasandha. He will just leave him. So it happened many times, and one time he came with his friend Kalanemi, and Kalanemi started attacking Krishna. And Kalanemi had a boon that he will not be killed by any man or any person or any weapon. So Krishna devised a plan, and he wanted to engage his devotee, Muchukunda, in his service, in his seva. So Krishna started fleeing from the battlefield. And Jarasandha and Kalanemi, they were cursing Krishna. He's just running away from the battlefield. And he's Ranchod, he's running away from the battlefield. So therefore, Krishna's one of his name is Ranchod, who is running away from the battlefield. And he is celebrated because of his running away, because that running away from the battlefield is for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of his devotee, to please Muchukunda. So the beautiful temple in Gujarat. So the Krishna was running and running, and it was so Kalanemi and Jarasandha, they felt Jarasandha didn't come. The Kalanemi was running after Krishna. It was so close, almost like he will touch Krishna, and then Krishna will again go far away from him. Again he will come so close just to touch him. Again he will run away. So in this way, Krishna brought him to the cave where Muchukunda was taking rest. And when he came there, Muchukunda was sleeping in that cave because Devatas, when they were fighting with demons, they took a help from Muchukunda that please Muchukunda help us, and Muchukunda helped all the Devatas. And after the war, Devatas they won the war, and then they asked the Muchukunda, we are so pleased with your seva, your service. What we can offer it to you? And he said that I have fought for so long, and I want to sleep as long as I can, And they said, yes, Tatastu. They granted that boon. But they said, there's only one condition, that if somebody wakes me up in the middle of my sleep, when I'm completely in deep sleep, then as soon as I open my eyes, whoever wakes me up, that he will be burned to ashes. So Devta granted that boon too. So with that boon, Muchukunda was sleeping in the cave because the cave is dark. So Krishna knew Muchukunda is there. So Krishna ran and he came. And as soon as he came, he put his shawl, chadar, on the body of Muchukunda where he was lying. And he went into the corner, and he put his both hands on his vest. And in a waiting position, he was waiting there in the corner. Now Krishna has a effulgence, Brahmatej is always with the effulgence. So he covered his own effulgence, and the whole cave was still dark. And he was standing in the corner, on his hands on his vest. He's waiting to see what his devotees will do. And Kalinimi, he came, and it was so dark, and he saw that somebody is sleeping, and he recognized that chadar. And by seeing that chadar, he thought, oh, it is Krishna. And he just attacked him. He started kicking him, and kicking him and kicking him and kicking him. And because he was in so deep sleep, it took a little time, but because he got so angry, and he just woke up, and he opened his eyes and looked at this Kalanemi. And as the boon was, the Kalanemi, by the look of Muchukunda, he was completely burned to ashes. He burned completely, fell down like an ash on the ground. And immediately Krishna, he again exhibited his Brahmatej, he uncovered his light or Prakash, or Swayam Prakash. Krishna is Swayam Prakash. So he again illuminated the whole cave. And Muchukunda didn't realize it was so dark and it is so shiny. So immediately he closed his eyes because it was so shiny, and then he opened his eyes, and beyond that Brahmateja, he saw the Lord of his heart. Vishnu or Krishna is standing there, putting his both hands on his waist. And in that beautiful position, Krishna was standing there, and Krishna appeared to him. And then he said, I'm so pleased that this Kalanemi was after me to kill me. And today he has saved my life. And I'm so pleased with you. So I want to, what can I offer to you? I'm so pleased with you. Then Muchukunda said, many thousands and thousands of yogis and devatas, they perform so much tapasya so that they can see you, they can have your darshan. And without asking, you have appeared in front of me. So what I'm going to ask, I don't want anything. I'm so pleased you're just in front of me, and I'm happy that I could offer some seva. I can offer some service to you, and so I don't want anything. One who has seen you, he has lost all the desires. No, he do not have any desires to have anything in this world. So you gave me already your darshan. You already gave me seva. So what more I can ask you? But still, Vishnu said, still, because I'm so pleased to you, what I can give it to you. So the Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord, Vishnu, Krishna, they're very compassionate. They don't ask anything for themselves. They ask because for other people. And Vaishnavas are always concerned because everybody is suffering in this world. And the reason of their suffering is forgetfulness of Krishna. So, therefore, Muchukunda, he said, if you really want to give something, now the Kali Yuga is coming, and in people in Kali Yuga will be so, Manda, Sumanda, Matayo, Manda Bhagya, Upadruta, Prayana, Alpayusha, Sabya, Kalovasmin, Yuge, Jana. And people in Kali Yuga will be Manda, they'll be slow. They'll be slow in practicing spiritual life. The Sumanda, they'll be lazy for giving time for spiritual life. Matayo, everybody will have their own opinion, and they will not listen to opinion of Krishna. Mandabhagya, they are so unfortunate. They got this human form of life, and still they are not taking advantage of it and trying to know Krishna and serve him. And therefore, they are always Yupudruta. People in Kali Yuga will be always disturbed. They're always stressed. So therefore, they have a very small life, maximum 100 years, So this is the unfortunate state of these sinful people in Kali Yuga. So please give me the boon that they will, if they see your this beautiful form, they will completely become attracted to you because it's so beautiful. And if they see you, they'll be completely blissful and they'll forget the misery of the material world and they will surrender unto you. So please stand like this and please give this darshan to all the people of Kali Yuga, whoever comes to see you. So Krishna said, I will fulfill your desire in your next birth. So this is Muchukunda. Now he came to Dindirava and he was born. There was a Brahmana named Janudev and his wife's name was Muktabai. Very religious, pious, and truthful, and always loving and caring, and always thinking about serving Krishna, always praying, and very simple sattvic life they were living. And this Pundalik was, Muchukunda was born as a Pundalik. But somehow, even though he had such a good parent, Brahmana parents are there, very cultured family, but because of bad association, he became a very bad boy. He was not a good boy. And he was troubling his parents. He was not listening. He was insulting his parents. He's insulting the sadhus and Vaishnavas coming to his home. And he was always torturing the animals and insects and troubling the people, by by his behavior. So he didn't turn out to be a good boy. He was very bad boy, ill-behaved. So the parents were thinking what to do. We have given birth, so it is our duty to raise him. So they raised him till he became young. And when he became young, he became more bad. And they thought, what is the use, use of staying with such a bad boy? And now he is grown up. He can manage his own life. Why we should waste our life for him staying here? So they decided to go to pilgrimage. They started for Kashi. And they left. And then this Pundalik, he became aware. When parents are not there, then the son, then the kids, they remember their parents, how they were loving and how they were taking care, how the father was working hard, mother was keeping nice, cooking nice preparations and feeding and everything was so easy, life was there, but still we didn't realize that because of our young age attitude of reluctance and stubbornness, didn't appreciate our parents' help. So after parents are gone, this Pundalik was very, he realized the importance of having parents, and he realized that how his parents were so loving, and he was so unfortunate he didn't understand their love. So immediately he started to look for them, and then he was going. He one day, it was in the evening, and because it was getting dark, he started to stay in the under a tree on the bank of the river. And so he was staying there. So he saw across the river there is a hut, and there is some light coming from that hut. And he saw that three girls, they were uh, originally they're so beautiful, but now they were all covered with dust and all kind of rubbish things, and their clothes were all round, and they're all dirty. The black and the hairs were all spread, and they were dirty, and his whole face was dirty. So all these three girls, they came and they went into that hut, and next day morning when they came out, they were like so beautiful, effulgent, shining. They had a beautiful shining clothes and shining ornaments. Their whole body was like effulgent. So this Pundalik was wondering, what is this? These girls were so dirty, and now they came out. They're so clean and so effulgent and so attractive. So what's going on? What is happening? So he just swam across the river, and he just went to those three girls, and he just offered his obeisances, and he said, "Who are you, three girls? And so you see, I saw you yesterday. You're so dirty and groomed and completely rubbish. All the clothes were torn and hairs are scattered and dirty, and you're looking so dirty yesterday. So now I can see you're so beautiful." Then those three girls, they said, you are not qualified. You are a sinful person. You will not understand the glories of devotional service. You will not understand serving saint. So what is the point of telling you? You are useless. And they rebuked him and they chastised him. So immediately Pundik understood, yes, he is, because he has tortured his parents and insulted them and everything. So he realized, he said, yes, please forgive me. I will become good, but please let me know who three of you are. Then they says we are three rivers, Ganga, Jamuna, and Saraswati. So because all people from all over the world come with their sin, and they take paths and they leave their sin, therefore we become all dirty with their sin. And we have no way to clean all this sin. So therefore we come into this ashram. He's a sadhu, Kukkuta Muni, and they come and serve him. And because they serve him, they clean their ashram, they cook for him, they do everything, and they go. So because of the service, the rivers who have accumulated all the sinful activities or sinful, sins of all the people, their sins are cleaned. People come to clean their sin in the rivers, but where the rivers are going to clean their sin, all the deposited by these sinful people. So they are happy to serve the Vaishnavas, and by serving Vaishnavas, they get free from sinful reactions. So therefore, when we see Guru or any senior Vaishnava or any sadhu taking bath in the river, Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati, or any river, we shouldn't think that they are also like us, like sinful people. We have come to clean our sin here, and they are also here to clean their sin. So it is not like that. It may apparently look to our eyes that they are also taking shower. But actually, it is the scripture in the Shastra, it is said that when these great sadhus, when they go to the river, because of their touch, because of their blessing, because of their mercy, because of their touch to the river, all the sinful reactions accumulated in the river, they wash away. So that is the power, that is the potency of a pure devotee. Just by his touch, he can clean the sins of even the rivers where millions of people go and deposit their sin. So these three rivers, Ganga, Jamuna, and Saraswati, they chastised him. He said, "You have insulted your parents, and you have misbehaved your parents. So your behavior is not good." So immediately, this Pundarik, he understands that he has done a big mistake. So he goes and he finds out his parents and bring them home. And thereafter, he becomes such a wonderful, loving boy, and he starts serving them. He starts massaging them. He starts, massaging their feet. He cooks for them. He gives them bath, cleans the home, and cooks everything. He was so absorbed in serving, and with his parents, they were devotees. They were Vaishnavas. And as everybody knows this sloka, but it's just used wrongly it's used. Matru Deva Bhava, Pitru Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava, and Atiti Deva Bhava. So Matru, mother, is our first guru, and mother introduces us to father, and father is our second guru, and then father introduces us to a spiritual master, that is Acharya Deva Bhava. And Acharya, the guru, introduces us the super soul in everybody's heart, how to see Krishna in everybody's heart. So even Atithi means one who has come unnoticed. So Guru teaches us how to see the Lord in everybody's heart. Of course, the Lord is different, but he is part and parcel, is Amsha, which how we should see that God is spread, God's energy through his energy is spread everywhere, and part and parcel of Krishna. So Matrudevo, Pitrudevo, when it is true, when they are worshipable, father and mother, when they practice Krishna consciousness, practice Krishna bhakti, and they make us qualified, they make their child qualified to take shelter of Acharya or Guru, who in turn teaches them Krishna consciousness. So this is how that Matrudevo, Pitrudevo Bhava is there. But sometimes parents, they will do all the, they will not do Krishna bhakti, they are not engaged in Krishna bhakti, but still they expect these things of glorification or service from their child. So parents should learn their responsibility, that first thing they have to understand the purpose of their life and learn to become a devotee of Krishna. And then they are Vaishnavas. So these parents were Vaishnavas, and therefore Pundalika was serving them. So Krishna, he is very happy when Krishna says in Bhagavatam that more than my devotees serving me, I am become very happy when they serve my devotee. So Krishna became very happy. So when Krishna was in Gopalpura, was in the festival, he remembered, oh, I have promised Muchukunda, and that Muchukunda has appeared as a Pundalik, and now he is in Vrindavan, now he is also here. So he left Rukmini and he came to Pundalik. So therefore, in the temple, you see Rukmini is behind, she's in the different altar, and Vittala is here. So Krishna is such kind. He always looking, just like devotees are happy to see Krishna, Krishna is also happy to see his devotees. So in Pandharpur Dham, Krishna is showing that how he is more loving or attracted to devotee, that he put his wife aside, he left his Dwarka aside, and he forgotten all the opulence of Dwarka. He forgot his wife, he gives so much importance, and he also shows us how to be in the world and how to be detached from the world. Because he himself shows us he's not with his family. His Rukmini is behind. Rukmini is in the other altar. And so he is here. So more than his family, Krishna loves his devotee. So Krishna remembered, oh, Pundalika is here. So he left Rukmini. So he came to Pundalik where he was. The Pundalik was living in a small hut, and he didn't have anything. He didn't have any furniture. He didn't have any thing. So as a guest, when guest comes to your house, what you're supposed to do? First, you have to offer him sweet words. Second, you have to offer him some place to sit. And third, offer him some, in Maharashtra, they offer jaggery and water or lemon juice or some fruits or milk. You offer some, to the guest. But Pundalik, when Krishna appeared, and he appeared again with Swayam Prakash, he's effulgent. When Krishna appeared in his small hut, the hut became completely illuminated. And Pundalik, he didn't realize where is this all light coming from. Look behind, and Krishna was standing just as he saw in that cave, putting his hands on his vest and in a waiting position. He was standing there, and he was happy to see that Pundalik is engaged in serving his parents, and therefore uh, Pundalik didn't know what to do. Now he's serving parents, he cannot leave, so he just picked up a brick which was just he was just there, and he threw the brick, and he said, Krishna, please wait. I will just finish this seva and I will come. So Krishna, he stood on that brick. So brick in Marathi, it is called wheat, and Krishna is standing, that is Thela. So Vitevari Thela, that means one who is standing, the God who is standing on a brick. And therefore, Krishna's name in Pandharpur became as Vithala, because he is standing on Vitevari Thela, Vithala, standing on a brick. And you will see Krishna is always with that brick. Vithala, you will not see without the brick. So who is this brick? So this brick is Indra. So Indra, one time, there was a demon called Rudrasura. He's a different demon than what is in Bhagavatam, because this Rudrasura has 3 heads, which is mentioned in Skanda Purana. In Bhagavatam also there is a fight between Rudrasura and Indra, but that Rudrasura has only 1 head. And just imagine, it took 1 year to cut his throat for Indra. So the Rudrasura here, he has 3 heads. So he was performing some yajna and to achieve supremacy. So this Indra, when he came to know that this Rudrasura is performing austerity, is performing yajna, and he want to become the supreme. So Indra immediately, he is always in anxiety. He's always worried about his post. If you are attached to the post, what will happen? You will be always worried about it. So Indra was so worried about it. So, but he knew that Rudrasura is so powerful, you cannot kill him when he is awake. You have to kill him when he is not alert. So this Rudrasura, one time he was sitting in dhyana, closed his eyes, and he was sitting in dhyana. This Indra, he didn't come. He sent his servants and to kill him. So he came and they started killing him. And Rudrasura, of course, he was killed. But before he was killed, he came to know that these are servants of Indra. And therefore he cursed that Indra, because he has killed me deceitfully. He has cheated me. And he didn't come. He sent his servants and he has killed me in a wrong way. And therefore, I will punish you. And you will become a brick and fall on the ground. And therefore, Indra, he became a brick and he fell on the ground in Dindirvan. So when in Dindirvan, the Indra, when he fall, now Indra is immediately he remembered Vishnu, and he was calling out Vishnu's name, and Vishnu appeared, and Indra said that please relieve me. This is I became a hard stone or brick, so please relieve me from this precarious condition. And then Krishna says, you're always creating some mischief all the time. So he said, I will appear in next kalpa, and that time I will relieve you. So Indra prayed that I will never make any mistake again. I will never forget you again. That's why please keep me at your lotus feet all the time so that I will not remember you. So therefore, this brick Indra, so Krishna came and he stood on the Indra, and this Indra is the brick, and therefore this is Indra's prayer that please always keep me at your lotus feet. So Pundalik threw that brick, and Krishna stood on that, and very happily he was seeing that Krishna, uh, his devotee Pundalik is serving his parents, his Vaishnavas. So after all the seva is done, Pundalika came and said, please forgive me. I was serving my parents. I don't want it to leave it half, because then Krishna said, no, no, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see that my devotee is engaged in other, there is no happiness I can have where I see my devotees working cooperatively together and serving each other, and for me, and thinking of me, and giving up their ego. They are completely absorbed in serving each other, and in turn they are serving me. So this, I am not at all disturbed. I'm very happy, in fact, and therefore I have appeared in front of you to fulfill your desire in your last life. And then he said, now I have come. Please tell me what you want, from me. I'm so pleased with you. Then he said, what I am going to ask from you, Nayache ham varam deva vishayakshana bamburam. I will not ask anything from you which is going to give me happiness for even 1 second or 2 seconds or one lifetime. All the vishayas in this world are kshanabhanguran. The happiness in this world is kshanabhanguran, is very momentary. There is no long-lasting happiness in that, in whatever we get in this world. So therefore, I'm not going to ask you to give me something from this material world. What is the use of asking? There is a bird called Kushmandaka, which is very bitter. So you go in front of a tree, Kalparuksha, and ask for this bitter fruit. What is the use? So anything in this material world, people go to temple, people go to darshan of any temple. They go for asking something, give me good wife, give me good husband, give me money, or give me riches, give me car, give me bungalow, give me prestige, or everything. So, they want something to enjoy their senses. But Krishna says, I have already provided you that. I can give you better than that. So what we have to ask from Krishna? So such Vittala is standing there, and we learn from Tukaram, how to appreciate that Vittala, and what to ask from him. So Krishna, in the mood of Tukaram, Tukaram is when he sees this deity, what is he thinking? What is he asking? Then he said, Sundarate dhyana ubhe vitevari. You're such a beautiful, effulgent form which is standing on the brick. Karakatavari Thevuniya. Your hands are on your vest. Tulsi hara gala kase pitambara. You are wearing tulsi garland, and pitambar. You are wearing around your vest is a pitambar, yellow garment. Avade nirantara hechi dhyana. I do not want anything else. I just want to see this beautiful form of you, and I'm very, very happy. I'm blessed to see this form in front of me. Makara Kundale Talapati Sravani. There are shark-shaped earrings, and they are looking so beautiful in your ears. Kanti Kaustuba Mari Virajita. That Kaustuba jewel is on your chest, in your neck, is also very beautiful. And Tukamane Maje Hechi Sarva Sukha. This is my only happiness. Pahina Srimukha Avadine. Just to see your blissful smiling face. And why the smiling face of the Lord is there? because the Lord is smiling, seeing his devotees serving each other. So that pleases, that makes Lord prasanna, that makes happy. Not when we ask him something, anything other than, when we ask, how we can serve you. And therefore, Tukaram Maharaj, another Abhanga, he says, Sada माझे डोळा जडो तुझे मूर्ती. Said, always my eyes should be seeing you. I don't want to see anything else. Sada माझे डोळा जडो तुझे. I want my eyes, I pray that they should always look at you. Rukumaicha Pati Soyuriya, the husband of Rukmini, who has come to Pandharpur. So this is, you see, even the gopis, they curse Brahma. Said, why you have given this eyelid to us? Because when you see the eyelid, when we close, that much of time we cannot see Krishna. So just imagine, this is the love of the Lord, love of the devotees for the Lord. They don't want to go away from the Lord even for a second. So Sada Maje Dola, in front of my eyes, you should always be there. Goda Tuje Rupa, Goda Tuje Nama. Your face, your form, Sachidananda is so beautiful. There is nothing can be compared to your form. So beautiful. Let my heart be always attracted to that. Goda Tuje Nama. He said, your name is also so beautiful. In Kali Yuga, there is no difference between Krishna's name and Krishna. So that is also beautiful. Deimaja Prema Sarvakala. Please give me your love all the time. All the time, make my love increases for you. Vitu Mauliye Hachivar Dei. Said, Krishna, Vitala, please give me this blessing that Sancharoni Rahi Hridaya Maji. You will be always in my heart. You will be always staying in my heart. Because ordinarily what happens in our heart, these lust, greed, anger, all these 6 anarthas are there, unwanted things. So our heart is full with all these lust, anger, greed, all these unwanted things. So therefore, Krishna we cannot see, even though he is there in our heart as Paramatma. So Tukaram is playing that you come and sit in my heart. Please. And then wherever there is Krishna, all these anarthas will go away. So please come and reside in my heart. Hridaya Maji. Tukamane Maje Magane na Anika. Tuje Pai Sukha Sarvai. I do not wish anything in this world and of this world, because all the happiness is always at the feet, at your lotus feet. So I do not want anything else. And therefore, he also says that those who are going to see Vitala, they should not think he is the ordinary deity. Swayambhu Amsa Vitevari Ubha, Chaitanyacha Gabha Panduranga. He said this Krishna is Swayambhu. He has appeared with his own will. Chaitanyacha Gabha. He is Sachidananda. He is transcendental. He is not made in Nahi Gadavila, Nahi Baisavila. Nobody has carved him from the stone. He is not a murti carved from the stone. Nahi Baisavila, nobody has done prana pratishtha or put him there or worshipped him there. He Dwaraka Pundalika ala bhetavaya. This Krishna has come from Dwaraka to meet Pundalika. So we shouldn't think that this is a murti. He says, Tuka mane murti ghadavili jeva. If you say that this deity is carved or established with some rituals, Tyacha mukha khide pado. Tukaram Maharaj says that his mouth will be rotten and all the insects will be there in his mouth. That means his mouth is bad mouth. That's what Tukaram Maharaj wants to say. So we should not make an offense thinking that this deity is an ordinary deity. So you see, Krishna himself is standing there. It is not Murti, it's Krishna himself. We should look at the deity. And when you see the Indra, the brick, in Marathi, wheat is also means called suffering. I'm so much disturbed in this word. So to become free from the suffering, you have to take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. So always pray that we always stay at the lotus feet of Krishna under his. What is the meaning of staying at the lotus feet of Krishna? means staying in that protection. So therefore, Pundalika also prayed, "You have such a beautiful form. I do not wish anything from this material world." And now the Kali Yuga is coming, and people of this Kali Yuga they are ignorant, they have no knowledge, they are foolish, stubborn, sinful, all bad qualities. The people in Kali Yuga are endowed with all bad qualities. So therefore, I want you to stay here as you are to see, and whoever sees you, please give them your mercy. Please give them your blessings. Whoever comes to see you, don't consider whoever they are. So this is the only deity in the whole world where you can go put your head unto the deity. Previously, you would even they are allowed to embrace the deity. You are so merciful. But due to some things happened, now you can only go and put your head into the on the lotus feet. It's the only deity in the whole world. So therefore, Vitthala, he came for Pundalik, and he is standing there, and he is because Pundalik prayed for all of sinful people like us who can go there even though you have no bhava, but just by looking at Vittala, your complete love for him, at least momentarily, you will experience that. You'll forget everything and you are attracted to Krishna. So when we take darshan, we should continue. It is not that only take darshan and then forget Krishna. No, taking darshan means taking shelter of his lotus feet. So listening to whatever he has to say. So therefore, this Pundalika, his samadhi is there on the bank of Chandrabhaga. He's always sitting there, staying there. So this way, Vitthala has appeared in Pandharpur. So even Lord Ramachandra, when he was in exile, he stayed in Pandharpur. So many acharyas have also visited, Shankaracharya has visited Pandharpur, and he has written a beautiful Panduranga Astakam, ending with Parabrahma Lingam Bhajai Pandurangam. He also says that Krishna is Parabrahma. So this is very important. Uh, this is the reason we should always go to Pandharpur, because he's waiting. This is the only deity. Vitthala is waiting, and one of his name is also Panduranga. Pandu means white. His color is white. So Krishna's normal color, you see, is like a rain cloud, like a blackish kind of. So when Krishna was, when he was small, when they used to herd the cows, they used to milk the cows. They used to spread the milk of the cows on each other, and they'll all become wet with the cow milk. And that is the purpose of Abhishek, bathing Lord with the milk. So Pandharpur, when the deity of Panduranga, especially in the morning, if you go at the morning Brahma Muhurta, it's called Kakadarati, and they bathe Panduranga with the beautiful, milk and yogurt, and that deity looks so beautiful, like Shweta Pandu, and that's why the name of the deity is also Panduranga. It's like it becomes white and it becomes so beautiful. So it's a very beautiful sight to see in the morning. So that is why the name came Panduranga. And this Dindirvan, it became famous later on as Pundarik Kshetra. In Skanda Purana, you will hear it as Dindirava and then Pundarika Kshetra. And from Pundarik Kshetra, it became Pundarik Pur, like Jagannath Puri. Pundarik Pur means village or city. And then from Pundarik Pur, it became Pandharpur. And from Pandharpur, it became like Pandari. So there are so many names, but they are related like this. So this is the reason this deity is very special. She's waiting for the deity. So this same Krishna, he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about 500 years ago. And this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he took sannyas, he came to Jagannath Puri. And from Jagannath Puri, he decided to travel to South India. So he was traveling to South India, and during his travel, he came to Pandharpur. And there is a beautiful description about how he stayed in Sri Rangam for 4 months. And from there, he came to Pandharpur. He stayed there for 11 days. So next highest from anywhere. Normally he will go for 1-2 days and then he will move on. But because of Chaturmasya, he stayed 4 months in Sri Rangam. And he stayed in Pandharpur for 11 days. So there is a nice description about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he came to Pandharpur. Tatha hete Pandharpure aila gaura chandra Vithala Thakura dekhi paila ananda. So he came to Pandharpur and he saw beautiful Lord Vithala, and he was very happy to see this blissful smile of Vithala. He felt very blissful. Prema Veshe Kaila Bahut Kirtana Nartana. So he took a bath in Chandrabhaga, and every day he will do kirtan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he does kirtan, thousands of devotees will gather around him to perform the kirtan. And he was engaged in kirtan, and every day he will go to Vitala and do kirtan. So Tahanye ka viprata rakhela nimantran. So one day, this Brahmana, one of the Brahmana, he came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, please come to my house for prasadam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi, and sannyasis, they are invited by people, to their house to feed them prasadam, to offer them prasadam. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was invited to the Brahmana. And when the Brahmana came, they started, he told him that there is a one very pure-hearted sannyasi, Sri Rangapuri, is here in Pandharpur. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the name of Rangapuri, he became excited because he is the god brother of his own guru, Vishwara Puri. So his Brahmana is saying this Madhavendra Puri's disciple, Sri Rangapuri, is here. So immediately he said, where is he? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to where Sri Rangapuri was staying, and when he saw that, he offered his obeisances, and both were, they embraced each other. They were crying in happiness. And then they started talking about Krishna Katha, and they talked like 4-7 days. They were all talking about Krishna Katha, so much absorbed in Krishna Katha. So later on, at the time of discussion, then Sri Rangapuri, he just said, oh, by the way, where are you coming from? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am from Bengal. I'm coming from Navadvip. Oh, Navadvip. As soon as he said Navadvip, he immediately understood. Because he said, I went with my Guru Maharaj, Madhavendra Puri, to Navadvip, and we were, hosted by one Brahmana, Jagannath Mishra, and his wife Sachimata. She is Jagannmata. She is such a wonderful cook. And she cooked that day when we went, that still that taste linger on our tongue. She made a very, very tasty vegetable sabji from banana flowers. The taste still lingers on our tongue. So I remember that. And they had one son, Vishwarup, and he took sannyas, and he traveled all around. And he came to Pandharpur, and here he took a samadhi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he left from Jagannath Puri, he had this desire to see where his brother is gone. And the other desire is to spread the Hare Krishna mantra all over South India. And when he came to know that his brother has come to Pandharpur and he took samadhi here, he started crying, and he embraced Jagannath, Ranganath Puri, Sri Rang Puri. And this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got this news that his brother has taken samadhi. So therefore this place is very, very worshipable for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. First, Krishna is there as Vitala. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's brother Vishwarup has taken samadhi. And also it is said, Gaudiya Vaishnavas believe that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiated Tukaram Maharaj, and when Tukaram Maharaj flooded the whole Maharashtra with and other regions with his Abhangas and Sankirtan and Kirtan. So later on, also Nityanand Prabhu, who is like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, he appeared as his own devotee. So Balaram also came, and Balaram also came as a Nityananda. So when he was small, with one sannyasi came to his house, and with him he left the home. He traveled around like Balaram, wherever Balaram went, he also went all around and all Teerth Kshetras. And he came finally to Pandharpur. And in Pandharpur, he was staying in one Brahmana's house. And at that time, Madhvendra Puri was also there. And the Madhvendra Puri asked his host, this town, this home feels very special. There is some special personality in this house. But the host didn't reveal who was staying. And they were doing Krishna Katha, and then they came to Balaram Katha. And when they were doing Balaram Katha, that Madhvendra Puri, he went into ecstasy. And from there, he just fell, little bit asleep or something like that, just by Nityan Prabhu's desire. And then Balaram appeared him in his dream, and he told that I will, tomorrow, there will be one young boy, young, handsome, tall boy will come to you, and young sannyasi. Please initiate him by this mantra. So Balaram gave mantra to Lakshmipati Teerth, who was staying in that house. And Lakshmipati, he next day when he got up, he took a bath in Chandrabhaga, and when he came, he saw this beautiful, handsome, tall boy, as he was explained by Balaram. And when Nityanand Prabhu came, he fell at the lotus feet of Lakshmipati Teerth, and he begged, "Sir, please initiate me." So, understanding the desire of Balaram, Lakshmipati Teerth initiated Nityanand Prabhu in his ears. And after that, Lakshmipati Teerth left for his pilgrimage, and then Nityanand Prabhu came to know it and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. So this is another wonderful pastime Katha story took place, that Nityananda Prabhu is initiated in Pandharpur. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that the holy name of Krishna will be spread all over the world, and it came true by the effort of ISKCON founder Acharya, Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He came, and at the age of 70, he traveled to America, and from there he spread this holy name all over the world, the glories of Krishna. And one of his very senior disciple, His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, he has developed a Sri Sri Radha Pandharinath temple and a big project in Pandharpur. And recently, with his hard work and effort, there is a Prabhupada Ghat on the bank of Chandrabhaga River. They have built a Prabhupada Ghat. It's a beautiful place. So thousands and millions of people who come there to take bath on the bank of Chandrabhaga. So they all go to the Radha Pandharinath temple and take a bath on Prabhupada Ghat. So he is also, Prabhupada told him that you are Maharashtra, he is from Sangli. And Prabhupada told him that your Maharashtra is famous for Vittala and his devotee Tukaram. But now the people have forgotten. So you become the Tukaram of Maharashtra and spread the glories of Vittala and the holy name all over the world. So His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, he is taking care of that project in Radha Pandharinath temple. There is a farming, and there is a Goshala. And there is also, in the memory of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's visit to Pandharpur, there is lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also there is a beautiful diorama of Lakshmipati Teerth initiating Nityananda Prabhu in giving it mantra in his ears. So this is a very beautiful place. And when we go to Pandharpur, please remember that this Vittala is very, very merciful, and take his shelter like Pundalika, or what we saw from Tukaram Maharaj. And in this way, we will be able to take full advantage of visiting Pandharpur. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Vitthal Bhagavan ki jai.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.